Okay, so triple 20. Whoa, man. Holding your dart there for a very long time and then throwing is weird. So triple 20. Double. Okay, maybe I shouldn't throw darts on this video. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Bullshot Darts. In this one, I'm going to go over upper body position and your body position as you work your way around the board. So from like the top, bottom, left, right, you know, what you want to do with your body when you're working around the dartboard. But first, if you're new and you love darts, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop the video a thumbs up, and also follow Bullshot Darts on Facebook and Instagram. So the first thing we're going to talk about is your non-throwing hand. We want this hand to be still, right? So I talk about wanting as little things as possible moving on your upper body. So if this arm is off of your body somewhere, that gives it, you know, room to move, and we don't want that. Now, by all means, if you're comfortable with that, go for it. You know, there's plenty of dart players out there that do keep their arms off of their body and they throw just fine. If you're comfortable with that, do it. But to try to prevent as many things as possible moving, lock it on your body somewhere. So a popular place to put it is right where like your hip is, because it's kind of like a nice little armrest. You just pop it in and it rests on the top of that hip, and now that arm is not going anywhere. All right, so non-throwing hand, we want to try to keep that as still as possible. So even if you do have it off your body, try not to be moving it as you grab your darts. Like I'll see some players, they have, see me? They have their hand out and they bring it in and back every time they throw. Once again, if it works, go for it. But now you have all this movement with this arm, and it could just throw things off up top. All right, so try to keep that arm still. Next, we're going to talk about, well, just the position of your upper body. So when you stand at the dartboard, you don't want to stand straight up. You kind of want your body's momentum moving towards the dartboard. Now, we're not moving towards the dartboard, but we want the momentum of our body facing and going towards the dartboard. So we usually establish this with a lean. All right, so we stand at the dartboard. This is me standing up at the dartboard with no lean. Okay, if I hold my dart up. Now if I lean forward, now I have that momentum of my body going towards the dartboard. Now you don't want to lean too far to where you're losing balance. If you notice your back foot kicking up a lot when you throw, that's because you have too much of your body's momentum going forward and it's throwing your balance off when you throw. Now, if it happens every now and then, that's okay. You know, it happens to the best of us. You know, we're just throwing. It might happen one out of every 20, 30, 40 turns. I mean, maybe even less or more than that, but it still will happen sometimes. But if it's happening very consistently, bring your momentum back a little bit, okay? So just bring your lean back. And also what that lean helps do, it helps keep your body locked at your waist. If you're standing upright, you don't really have anything, you know, holding your body still at the waist, so you could find yourself wobbly. When you have that lean and you're forward, you're not really going to be loose up top because you're leaning forward, so you're using those muscles to keep that body position facing towards the board, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does, because now we're going to move on to our shoulder and elbow. We don't want that to be too loose either. So to compare it to what I previously said, if we're too loose and too relaxed with that arm, it's going to be a little bit wobbly. We're not going to be able to bring our dart straight back and straight forward because it's just going to be a little too wobbly. So similar to the lean forward, try leaning forward with your shoulder and, well, just your arm in general. So I know that probably sounds really confusing, but let's see if I can, let's see if it shows on the camera. So this is me just really loose up top, okay? I don't really have any tension in my arm or anything. I'm just loose and relaxed up top. Now I'm gonna put some tension on and put my arm's momentum towards the dartboard. So I'm loose. Now I have the momentum towards the dartboard. Loose. Momentum towards the dartboard. Now the reason we want that is because, like I said, if we're too loose, we're going to be too wobbly. We might not bring our arm straight back, and then we might not bring it straight forward. We want our arm as if it's on a hinge. You know, I talk about that a lot. We only want our arm moving. straight back, straight forward. We don't want any of this. Okay, straight back, straight forward. Think about it, well, like a hinge. If you got a hinge and the screws are loose, it's gonna be very wobbly. But if you tighten up those screws, it's gonna go straight directions, right? Back and forth, and that is what we want. But we don't want it so loose to where you're like flexing your whole body. You still wanna be loose and relaxed, but you do want your body's momentum towards the dartboard. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense in my mind. You know, we established that with a lean and also having our arm kind of leaning as well, okay? Practice it, tell me how it goes, tell me in the comments if I'm making any sense. It's something that I think like pretty much all dart players do, but it's one of those things that's just kind of hard to explain. So play with it, and then eventually once it feels it, you'll be like, oh, this is what Nick was talking about on that video. All right, last thing I'm gonna talk about, and this is actually the idea that gave me, or this is actually the thing that gave me the idea for this video, because I've had people ask me, what do you do with your body when you're moving around the dartboard? So you're aiming at that triple 20 a lot. Now you need to move down to the triple 19, or you have that double 16 out. What do you do with your body? So first, I'll say what you don't want to do. So let's say this is your position at that triple 20, which, you know, most of our darts are going at that triple 20. So that's what we're used to. This is my body position for that. When you're moving anywhere around the board, the last thing you want to do is just move your arm. Okay, triple 20, triple 19, double 16, bullseye, double 18. You don't want to do that because we are so used to throwing at this position. Okay, this angle at our shoulder, this eyesight level with our dart, you know, this angle with our neck and everything. If we're just moving our arm, all these angles are changing now. So now we're going to be throwing a way that we're not used to. So how do we fix this? How do we work our way around the board? What you want to do is just move at your waist. That is the only spot that you should be moving. Now, of course, everything up top is going to be moving too, but it's all moving together with your waist. Okay, this goes back to what I was saying, is because we're used to throwing with our dart at this height with our eyes, this angle of our shoulder, and all that good stuff. So when we move everything at the waist, everything moves up top, but all these angles are still exactly the same. Okay, does that make sense? Now to make it a little bit more exaggerate, I'm gonna, you know, aim at that triple or double 20. So the very top of the board, this is me aiming at that double 20. Now I'm gonna go down to the double 3. Everything on my body is, or everything on my upper body is just moving at the waist. Okay, so triple 20. Whoa, man, holding your dart there for a very long time and then throwing is weird. So triple 20, double, okay, maybe I shouldn't throw darts on this video. All right, but you guys get the point. So it's so important to mimic what we're used to doing because, well, that's what we're comfortable with. The second we start just moving our arm or just one part of our body, that's when it's going to start throwing us off because we're not used to throwing with our body at that angle. So make sure you move everything, but you're moving only at the waist, keeping all those angles the same. All right, so quick recap, guys. Non-throwing hand, we want that locked somewhere, preferably on your body. If it's off your body, that's okay if that's what feels comfortable, but try not to be moving it that much while you're throwing. It could throw you off. Next, we want our body's momentum towards the dartboard. We established that with a lean. And like I said, I don't know if I explained this very well, but we want our arm, you know, kind of leaning towards the dartboard as well, right? Because we want that perfect hinge of straight back, straight forward. Lastly, when we are moving around the board, do not move just your arm, move at the waist. When we move at the waist, our whole upper body is going to be going the same with it, keeping all of these angles and all the mechanics the same up top. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, if you're new, hit that subscribe button, follow Bullshot Darts on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I'll see you in the next one, and shoot well.